How will you take care of your colleagues, your coworkers, and yourself? Start by not trusting them too much. Trust is a very precious gift handed out one little bit at a time. One of the reasons why I prohibited self disclosure in this course is that you have to be careful how much information you share and who you share it with, because not everyone is your friend. Not everyone's intention will be benevolent. Yes, many people that you tell your personal information to will safeguard it and will never betray you. They will take what you have told them as a token of your trust, and it will be the basis of connection and a bond between you both, and there will be reciprocity as they share of themselves with you. But unfortunately, there are others who will take that information and use it against you. If you're going to work with offenders in any capacity, it's very important to remember that habitual criminals, especially ones who have been inside, that is, they've been incarcerated in a correctional facility, are first and foremost information gatherers. They are going to observe you and scrutinize you, study you, and examine you, and ask you increasingly intrusive, invasive, and inappropriate questions. They are going to gather information about you and store it away and use it against you in some way. It is not for any bonding or connection or benevolent purposes. A very important uh, note is that non disclosure and privacy and confidentiality must become your default setting. It must become a habit. And I hope I've reinforced that through the semester. It should start early at the undergraduate level, not the first time you walk into a clinic. I don't want this just to be a habit so you can earn points and get credits for the course, but rather I hope it's going to help keep you safe when you go into a professional setting. I've worked in a variety of settings in my career, spanning uh, over 30, well, getting to be 30 years. I worked in a community residence for the severely chronically mentally ill, two different community mental health clinics, a private medication assisted treatment clinic, and two 4 year colleges and two community colleges. And unfortunately, every single place, backstabbing and betrayal has been the norm. Your coworkers will monitor your behavior, and if you step out of line according to their very rigid model, they will complain about you. And what makes it even worse is that the people in charge take these complaints seriously. Instead of just telling the complainer to grow up and shut up and go back to work, they'll listen to their tale of woe and the injustice they are so certain has been perpetrated against them. Then you get called in for an Orwellian corrective interview and you're threatened with termination, or as they put it, separation. Nearly all the time, there's going to be some complaint about how someone's feelings were hurt. That's what it comes down to. This is very demoralizing and it makes for a very tense workplace. And it was the main reason why I elected to get out and go into private practice. I could no longer tolerate the atmosphere of tension and the lack of loyalty between coworkers. And I was not the only one. The rate of turnover in behavioral health is through the roof. If you look at I almost said that if you look in the paper, what paper am I speaking of? If you look online at job openings at county mental health clinics, they have constant turnover. They're always hiring. They have a great deal of difficulty with retention. Experience has taught me that a very good part of that is due to the environment, which can become so toxic that people can't trust one another. People are walking in wondering if this is going to be their last day on the job, and you have to be so careful what you say, how you say it, look on your face when you say it. So much so that all spontaneity or humor or joy is completely sucked out of your life. This has not gotten better since the day I started doing this for a living. I'm only seeing it getting worse and worse. Now, hopefully, you will find colleagues that are genuine and you can develop trust with over time and have real discussions with one another. Another option, is, and this is the one I chose, is to hire your own supervisor. This is what I did. And what this means is a new clinician, someone who is pre-licensure, who has completed their graduate degree or even a doctoral degree, but they do not yet have all the hours that are needed to sit for the licensing exam, have to have supervision. At least once a week, you sit with an experienced licensed clinician to review cases and get opinion, feedback, direction. They have to review your paperwork and approve it and sign off on it. And you consult with them about ethical issues and how to proceed on specific points in the cases you're working. And you'll also have group supervision where yourself and all the clinicians, both pre-licensure as well as experienced, will sit down and review cases. Now, again, my solution in the one clinic I worked at where it was so bad, I hired my own private supervisor. He did not work for and was not connected or affiliated with the clinic in any way. And I could meet with him once a week and say whatever I wanted to without fear of reprisal and be completely open and honest. And I paid him cash, and it was worth every penny because he taught me a great deal and helped me keep my sanity in a pretty insane environment. Something else I've emphasized throughout the semester is you need to have healthy pursuits that have nothing to do with the job, and you regularly engage in these pursuits. You need to have ample time away from work. If you do not, you will very quickly become burned out and ineffective and tired and resentful and bitter and angry and frustrated, disappointed, and you're no longer going to be effective. You're no longer going to be any good to anyone. You may leave the clinic you work at, you may leave the field and just do something completely different. Self care is of critical importance for everyone doing the job, meaning clinician, forensic clinician, law enforcement, corrections officer, parole and probation, Department of Children and Families, attorney, either defense or prosecution, an investigator for this public defender's office or state's attorney's office, victim's advocate, even a paralegal. You're going to get exposed to a good deal of human suffering. You must take good care of yourself, or you will not going to have career longevity. This is just a topic which is very, very, still, in my opinion, very overlooked in my profession. So, my solution is you have to take care of yourself. Thank you for watching. Please be safe and hit subscribe.